Hello and welcome to Brazil. We have brought the Thebizcouch here to one of the fastest growing economies and culturally diverse countries on Earth. A place of complexity and extreme, Brazil's stunning urban and natural landscapes are utterly unique. Covering nearly 5.5 million square kilometers of rainforest and consisting of an estimate of 400 billion trees, the Amazon is one of the greatest natural resources on Earth. This rainforest is nature's very own expression of big data. With the greatest density and diversity of natural life on the planet, there is a constant exchange of information, DNA and natural cycles. We have brought the Thebizcouch here to explore how technology is being used to monitor and protect this incredible ecosystem, as well as the culture and identity of the indigenous tribes who live within it. We begin our journey in Manaus, in the heart of the Amazon. This capital city of the state of Amazonas, situated in the middle of the rainforest, is home to many organizations working to protect the forest and the indigenous people living in it. One of these organizations is the National Institute of Amazonian Research. Established in 1952, that research varies from tropical forest management to molecular ecology. We sat down with Dr. Niro Higuchi, who has worked to protect the rainforest for over 30 years, to talk about the importance of the Amazon region and how technology could help in preserving it.
35 years I'm doing only field work, so we need to use technology to go from the lag power to high technology power to upscale our study.
But it is not only the forest that needs preserving. The Amazon rainforest is home to indigenous tribes whose lives are tied to the land and who are now facing an increasing number of challenges technology can potentially help to solve. We talked about this with Vasco van Roosmalen, the Brazil Program Director of the Amazon Conservation Team, who works with some of the indigenous people to solve the issues they are facing today.
Indigenous communities in the Amazon, they have a number of issues that they're looking for solutions for. The technology becomes a solution within or a tool to reach the solutions that they need to find.
From Manaus, we traveled to Brasília, the federal capital of the country. Here, we met with two members of Congress, Jean Willis and Alessandro Molon. Brazil is a country in change. The quickly changing social and economical landscape has brought about new issues, but also opportunities. One of the topics we discussed with the congressman was the recently passed Civil Rights Framework, also known as the Internet Bill of Rights. O que é o Marco Civil e por que é importante para o Brasil?
O Marco Civil é uma espécie de constituição da internet no Brasil, né? Um conjunto de regras que regulamenta e media os conflitos que se dão no espaço virtual, nesse ambiente virtual. Ele define direitos e deveres dos usuários, sejam esses usuários indivíduos, sejam corporações, sejam grupos.
Apart from pioneering digital rights, Brazil is also gaining pace in terms of digital inclusion and the possibilities this brings about. The importance and significance of this trend was also on the list of topics discussed with the congressman.
200 milhões de pessoas e 100 milhões de internautas. Então nós temos um grande desafio pela frente, mas essa inclusão digital certamente permitiu um grande avanço, tanto para o acesso ao conhecimento, à informação, quanto para a liberdade de expressão, para a mobilização política do país, quanto para a criação de iniciativas.
From the heart of the rainforest to the core of the government, this is the Thebizcouch in Brazil. Dr. Niro Higuchi is a researcher in the National Institute of Amazonian Research. He has spent his career on projects varying from forest managing to carbon dynamics. He, if anyone, understands the vital role the Amazon rainforest plays in the survival of our planet and how much work we have to do if we want to preserve it. And how is technology helping you to do your work of research in the Amazon?
To protect the Amazon region, we need to know what we have in the Amazon, what we need to do now before the next generation. We have to provide information upscale to the whole region. As soon as we have the correct information about the stock, for example, of the carbon of Amazonian forest, we can understand the role of the Amazon forest for the global change.
Do you have any specific examples of how innovative technology is helping to monitor the forest?
We have many sophisticated technology which has been used in the Amazon. However, the problem is the process and also the communication of this information. For example, I have equipment installed in the tree. They measure the development of the tree, the balance of water and nutrient in the tree. So we can use this information to see the growth of the tree.
You're now using drones in your field work. Can you tell us more about this project?
Yeah, we use drone to get LiDAR, laser image, for upscaling our field work. And this equipment should facilitate the communication from the field to Landsat images. What we want to do is upscale the information that we have from the ground.
How about where we're going to store that data?
It's very difficult to collect this data and to process this data. So we need to move to get better software and for process and even to storage this kind of data. It's not accepted yet the use of cloud technology to store data. We have to overcome this cultural problem, and there is no other way to store so many data from the Amazon.
The Amazon Conservation Team is an organization working together with the indigenous people in conserving biodiversity, health and culture in Brazil. We talked with Vasco van Roosmalen, who is the director of the Brazil program, about the challenges the indigenous people face today and how they are making their voice heard with the help of new technologies. Why is it important to bring technology to the indigenous tribes in the Amazon?
And just as any other place in the world where people are digitally excluded, that creates new obstacles for them to be able to participate in economic opportunities, for them to participate in political opportunities in terms of having their voice heard democratically. For healthcare services more and more are going towards digital connection. And that's why it's so important, is that we have to work on the technology to bring digital access to these communities. And we can say, yeah, but 50 years before they didn't need that. Yes, but 50 years ago they didn't face the realities that they face today. And if they are choosing to be heard, if they want to be heard within the current society, if they want to be able to take advantage of the advances that our society is developing, then it is a priority to get digital access to these communities.
And how is technology helping tribe people in the Amazon to tell their story?
They are now mapping the biodiversity of their territories. And why is that important? To show that these areas have a role. The world recognizes, our society recognizes that biodiversity is something that needs to be protected. So we have a number of laws and international agreements that protect biodiversity. And so if we can prove that these indigenous territories hold a high amount of biodiversity, that allows for additional laws and additional regulations and additional protections to be applied. When you start being able to represent your knowledge that you have in your head on paper, that becomes really important to our society. So when you're dealing with our society, the things that our society has done in terms of demarcating their lands, drawing lines around their lands which were first were free, with deforestation approaching their lands. It's really important that they have those tools, that they be able to point out the GPS coordinates when a farmer has torn down a tree, for them to show, no, that tree was inside our territory. You shouldn't have been able to do that. when you're standing in the middle of an open field, how do you prove that that was your land? Well, you can take out your GPS or your smartphone, you can point to that location, you can then overlay that with the limits that the government has set for your land, and you can show that that's happened. Before that was not possible.
So beyond the data collection, what other uses mobile technology have in the indigenous tribes in the Amazon?
One of the Indian chiefs that I traveled with recently, he told me at one point he had given a mobile device to an old woman shaman for her to use. And she used it for herself. He didn't think that she was using it at all. And one time he saw it lying around and he just started playing around with it. And he saw that she had filmed the most amazing things of her daily life. She had done it for herself, but she had been really able to communicate and will be able to communicate her daily life and some of the work that she does as a woman shaman on this device. And that was something that was completely organic, natural. I mean, all he had done was given her the device and she decided how that she was going to use it. And that's what we're seeing, is that people are extremely creative. When they have a tool in their hands and they have a goal, they will find the best way to move that forward.
Having looked at how technology is helping us preserve the Amazon forest and the culture of indigenous tribes, we're now here in Brasilia, the capital city and political center of this vast country. We're going to take a closer look at how digital inclusion and the proliferation of mobile technology is providing new economic and social opportunities for Brazil. We are now in the legislative core of the country, in the Congress of Brazil. We came here to talk to Congressmen Jean Willis and Alessandro Molon about Brazil's forefronting Internet Bill of Rights, a recently passed law that guarantees equal access to the Internet and protects the privacy of Brazilian Internet users. Deputado, qual é a origem do Marco Civil? Como que essa lei chegou a... Como que foi feita essa ideia do Marco Civil?
Bom, na verdade ela começa a partir de uma reação da sociedade civil brasileira a um projeto de lei que tramitava aqui no Congresso e que ganhou o apelido de AI-5 Digital. Um projeto que na prática criminalizava quase tudo que se fazia na internet. A sociedade brasileira então pediu ao presidente da época do Brasil, o presidente Lula, que criasse um marco civil da internet. Uma espécie de carta de direitos, uma espécie de constituição da internet para fazer com que os nossos direitos online estivessem assegurados.
E qual que é o tripé que se baseia o Marco Civil?
E o Marco Civil está sustentado num tripé, que é o tripé da privacidade, da neutralidade e da liberdade. O que significa cada um desses aspectos? Significa que o Marco Civil garante a liberdade na internet, a liberdade de expressão. Ninguém vai ser cerceado, não há censura prévia a nada. Todas as pessoas são livres para publicarem o que quiserem. Agora, se o uso dessa liberdade na verdade, um abuso, se for um abuso dessa liberdade, isso vai ser julgado depois pela justiça. O Marco Civil também aponta para isso. A privacidade é deixar claro esse marco regulatório, que ele tem que gozar de privacidade na rede, que as informações que ele disponibiliza ou que ele acessa não tem que ser do conhecimento de corporações nem de governos, para que não haja vigilância e controle mais do que o que já há. E a neutralidade é permitir que as pessoas tenham um acesso equânime nas redes, quer dizer, que não só os grandes portais de comunicação, as grandes empresas possam trafegar com dados numa velocidade grande, mas todo mundo possa fazer isso, porque a gente acha que a democracia nos meios digitais depende dessa neutralidade, digamos assim.
The passing of the Internet Bill of Rights is a strong proof that Brazil is embracing a new era of digital inclusion. This trend is creating new opportunities for the country, but also poses some questions that need to be answered. We discuss with the Congressmen Willis and Molon this quickly changing landscape and the importance of overall digital inclusion, as well as the future prospects these new technologies can help to materialize. E por que a inclusão digital é importante para uma nação como o Brasil?
Olha, primeiro porque as novas tecnologias da comunicação e da informação vieram para ficar e vem transformando a paisagem do mundo, as relações comerciais, as relações sociais, as relações culturais, né, a produção artística. Então, numa sociedade que se transforma nessa velocidade, pelas novas tecnologias da comunicação, essa sociedade precisa estar incluída digitalmente. É como se fosse uma nova era de alfabetização.
Como que a tecnologia está acordando um potencial dormente no Brasil?
E os brasileiros são muito criativos e essas novas tecnologias têm potencializado essa criatividade, têm dado instrumentos para que essa criatividade possa fluir em todos os aspectos. Uma verdadeira economia criativa digital está se construindo com essas novas tecnologias.
Houve um evento lá chamado Startup Weekend Favela e era um encontro de startups com líderes comunitários buscando soluções para os problemas da comunidade que passassem pela tecnologia. E eu passei por algumas mesas. Todos os times tinham designers, programadores, líderes comunitários, né? Na primeira mesa que eu visitei, eu perguntei qual era o assunto deles. Eles disseram, nosso assunto é educação. Eu disse, o que vocês estão criando? Eles disseram, nós estamos criando um aplicativo que permita aos alunos da rede pública que precisam de reforço escolar em determinada matéria, descobrir aqui perto, geolocalizado, onde há professores disponíveis para dar aula de graça daquela matéria no seu tempo livre. Numa outra mesa, um time preparava um aplicativo que permitia melhorar a mobilidade na comunidade. E esse time estava criando o Easy Mototáxi, porque nas comunidades há muitos mototáxis, né? Táxi de moto. Então ele estava se criando um aplicativo para chamar o mototáxi na favela, né? No Morro da Providência. Então isso mostra, a meu ver, como é possível, de um lado, juntar o empreendedorismo na busca de soluções para o desenvolvimento econômico e social dessas comunidades.
Então, dá voz a uma população que antes não tinha.
Não tinha. Quer dizer, os meios de massa não se abriam, eram canais que não se abriam para essa comunidade, né? Essa comunidade agora pode, inclusive, representar a si mesma, para além dos estereótipos que os meios de comunicação constroem sobre ela, né? Os meios de comunicação de massa, elas podem fazer a própria construção de si mesma, não só em termos de representação, mas também se transformar, se tornar empreendedores. Há muitos empreendedores nessas comunidades, graças a essas novas tecnologias.
Como que a tecnologia está facilitando essas mudanças que vêm da população para cima?
Eu acho que o paradigma está mudando para um Estado que chama a população e a sociedade para que a população ajude o Estado a encontrar soluções para os problemas de todos nós, né? Então, me parece que essa ideia de um governo aberto, de um governo que permite essa participação, que divide com a sociedade as suas dificuldades, os seus problemas, e que recebe sugestões, até mesmo de aplicativos que podem ser criados pela população, por empreendedores, por uma ideia genial que vem de um líder comunitário, de alguém que, pela experiência prática dos seus problemas pensou numa solução. Eu acho que esse é o caminho que a gente deve começar a percorrer.
Thebizcouch has gone into the depths of the Amazon forest and the heights of the capital of one of the fastest developing nations in the world. From the vast undertaking of protecting, cataloging and understanding the Amazon, the lungs of the planet, to social changes in every level of society, be they in the jungles, in the favelas or in Congress, technology is shaping Brazil's future for the better.
So we need to develop a model or algorithm to upscale my information. But the only way to do that is through technology.
We've never come with the idea ready. They said, these are the issues we're facing, and so we need to come up with solutions. And then they have ideas for the solutions, and we help them make those solutions real. And technology plays a part in that.
Eu acho que a inclusão digital e o uso da tecnologia para o desenvolvimento do Brasil vai ser cada vez mais estratégico. E me parece que o Brasil tem, de alguma maneira, uma vocação para isso. O Marco Civil também, de alguma maneira, nos coloca na vanguarda dessa discussão, junto com outros países que estão levando essa discussão à frente. Acho que todo esse conjunto de medidas bastante promissor, né, para o futuro do Brasil.
Porque as tecnologias vieram para ficar e as pessoas precisam dela para participarem da arena pública, né, da esfera pública, para terem expressão política, para poder inclusive gozarem de informação, terem acesso a conhecimento. Hoje, mais que nunca, a inclusão digital promove isso.